All right, and welcome to the second episode of Necessary Iframes. Thank X and Dr. Wiley here for joining us. We're going to discuss a little bit today about how to use this thing, how to use the controller. When you're playing a game, what's the most important part about it? The controls. And how do you use this guy here? Now, some of you might have wondered, why am I using this crappy Walmart Xbox controller over something like, say, this here? Well, I'll tell you, I have loved and abused the hell out of this thing, and as you can see, it's worn quite well right there. But honestly, folks, the distance between my television and my couch has grown, and so this here has become the issue. So the reason that I use the Xbox controller is simply because of distance. Now, you can look at this controller here, and you can look at this here, and you can even look at something like this PlayStation controller. Now, these Mega Man games are available to play on all three of these different kind of systems. These, like, you can use the old school NES console, you can use an emulator, you can use the PlayStation, Mega Man Collection series. You'll notice they all have the D-pad. They all have a start and select button going on. They've got this diamond shape happening here with the control pad, L and R. So these things are going to be universal. Now, when I'm talking about this, you can play it on one of these, one of these, one of these. You can even use, you know, if you're cool, a real 360 controller or something. But what I'm saying here, the point being, the control layout is going to be simply pretty much the same. So it's going to be really easy for you guys to understand no matter what kind of controller you're using. Now, the D-pad, you want to be pretty frisky with that guy. The control layout that I use is going to be the standard, the default control, where you've got your shot, you got your jump, and here's your dash button. This doesn't do anything. This is going to change your weapons. Now, there are some of you out there who like to play with that as your dash button. I believe you guys are called L-dashers, where you're shooting, you're jumping, and you're dashing here. I have not actually tried that. That seems like an interesting way to go about it. Not something I've done. I'm pretty used to this. Now, my brother has called this technique here the claw. And it's kind of funny. It makes me think that the Giant Claw, the 1950s black and white biggest battleship film. And it makes me think that I'm biggest battleship when I'm going on this sometimes, because you really got to bear down. You're going to be dashing, hitting that with this end of your thumb here for that jump button, and then you're clawing over this way while you're shooting with the tip of your thumb there. You're really going big as a battleship on this guy, and sometimes you're hitting all three buttons at the same time. I do that a lot, especially in boss battles. I really go after them, and you can dash also, if you don't know this already. Many of you probably do, but you can dash and shoot, and a double tap right there is going to get you that dash, just the same as hitting that B button there. And if you shoot while you're dashing, say doing the double tap or using that B button, a regular lemon, check this out, counts as one of those green shots. That's not all the way up to a blue, but a green shot's better than a lemon, ain't it? So doing that dash with that shot, that helps out a ton. And again, reinforcing it with this giant claw technique, I mean, it's really, you know, just safety in numbers there, security. And then up here we got the L and R to change the weapons. And that is a very big thing that I would recommend doing, going through, and after you have completed all of the boss battles and you've got all of the sub-weapons, memorizing where those weapons are in relation to the L and R buttons, because what that is going to do is help you with your run. When you need to change weapons on the fly, you know exactly how many of those L and R clicks that you got to have. And again, this controller, it's all the same for you. It's all the same. Keep that in mind, guys. What do you do? Do you do the L dash? Do you do a completely different button layout? How do you play? Tell us in the comments. Like and subscribe our channel. Share it with you. You guys have a good time. Keep on playing. We'll see you next time.